Indian-American psycho and current FBI director Kash Patel, he's getting himself ripped apart on Twitter. With these weird desires of those in the Trump administration to announce small and little wins just because they don't have anything useful, and it's just backfiring on them. So Kash Patel made this announcement on Twitter saying, "Breaking, I cannot report that today the FBI, along with our other interagency partners led by Al-Pambondi, arrested 2 active duty US Army officials and 1 former US Army soldier for theft of government property and a bribery scheme. These individuals have been charged with stealing Americans' defense intelligence capabilities and empowering adversaries like China in betrayal of our country. They will now face American justice." He must have thought that he's done something great, he's done something profound. He's reporting to the American people of the things that he's doing. Look at these significant things I've achieved now that I'm FBI director. And people are not having it, people are looking at this. So, is that it? Arresting 2 army officers, is that the profound information that you're sharing with us? Is this how you're going to be coming to announce every little thing you do? Just like Elon Musk is asking people to report what they achieved last week. Some people, their job is just routine, but if you take away those routine things, the system collapses. So these guys are just crazy. And so the comments have been wild. The comments against this guy have been wild. So let's just take the comment. And this one says, "Law, are you going to report every little arrest like it's international news? That's going to get old really quick." Jamie Vaughn said, "Really? I think I speak for the rest of the country when I say I don't want to see another post from you or hear about you or Bundy, unless it has to do with you taking action on even one of the promises you made to us." Another post says, "This is good. Don't get me wrong, Kash, but it's interesting how quickly someone in uniform is rounded up, yet Biden, Hunter, entire crime syndicate still at large, enjoying freedom, our taxpayer dollars. Can we get an ETA? Give us something." So, if these things about corrupt politicians, I get what this guy is getting at here. I mean, the corrupt politicians, they are still at large. Nothing's happening to them. When Trump is saying he's going to drain the swamp and all those things, why on earth does he think it's the government officials that are the problem and not the corrupt people in Washington, the corrupt politicians, the career politicians? Those are the people he should be going after. But he's going after people who are simply doing their job. Most of them were hired for their companies, not because they can bullshit people into voting them into office like politicians do. Now, Kelly said, "That's just great. Now, how many pedos that paid Jeffrey Epstein to have sex with children are running around among us? The official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter, 0000. And that's it." Trump has said that he was going to release the JFK files, he's going to release so many and so many files. But he hasn't said anything about the Epstein files. Might it be because he has some connection to Epstein? So we're waiting for that. Let Trump release the Epstein files. Let us see what's there. He's all bluff. He's just going to make promises that he's never going to keep, right? So if these guys are serious about doing the job, then they should be, because Epstein died under Trump, and it's so infuriating that no one even suggests that maybe Trump had something to do with this. Imagine if Epstein had been killed under Biden, everyone would be with the conspiracy theory that, oh, Biden killed him to keep certain things from coming to light. But, someone else says, who cares? We want to see the Epstein list. Amaj Torre says, "Telling us about low-level crimes is not what we're going to champion and celebrate. Shut down the building and make it a museum. We champion that. Or even other things this administration promised, not American soldiers who run a petty racket." Another MAGA person said, "Wake me up when you arrest people that are behind the COVID scam, January 6 scam, Epstein files. Until then, I'm not interested." Now, you have to understand that many of the people making these comments are MAGA people. These are people who align with Trump and with Kash Patel. And even them are saying that this is nonsense. This is unnecessary. This is low level. This is uninteresting for you to feed us information like this. And the reason he's feeding these information is because he's got nothing of substance to offer. This is all they've got to offer. This is all the Trump administration has got to offer. That they're going to be throwing this bone here and there, just like what Elon Musk is doing with Doge. All his reports have been very paltry. There's nothing, he hasn't been able to cut anything substantial from the US government budget. They promise the sun and they can't even deliver sand on earth. Big Rob said, "We're giving certain promises. Why the slow walk?" I and millions of others, judging by the comments, are getting a bit concerned and angry with Bundy and Patel for the lack of action/transparency regarding Epstein files, corrupt politicians, COVID, January 6, and other treason. Now, part of what these MAGA guys don't get is that the reason why they are not able to come up with any of this is because there's nothing there. The reason why they are not able to come up with the Epstein files list is because it will implicate their boss. The reason they are not able to target corrupt politicians because they themselves are corrupt. For COVID, there's really nothing there. January 6, the people who did it Trump released them. So what's there to look after? There wasn't a conspiracy. It's all on video that these people assaulted the Capitol. These people damaged properties and even led to the death of people there. They carried weapons. They were looking for Mike Pence to kill. So they don't have anything to show for all the promises that they've made. That's why they are doing this nonsense. Silverly says, that is great news, although why don't you start at the top and work your way down instead of the opposite? Things will be a lot more successful that way with the America First agenda. If he's going to do that, then he's going to have to go after his boss. He's going to have to go after his boss because his boss is the biggest fraud and traitor the US knows currently. Natalie Scalia says, that's great, but why haven't members of Congress been arrested? Why hasn't Hillary been arrested? Arrested for what? What was that crime exactly? Cuddy says, why are they being pussies and not releasing the Epstein files? Again, like I said, the Epstein files would implicate Trump. That's why they're not doing that. And then Ricardo also said, is this legal? Doesn't seem, since there is no trial. Is this abuse of power from Patel? These guys are so simple, it might actually be abuse of power. This is a case that hasn't gone to trial. You just arrested someone and you just announced that this person is a criminal. The courts have not officially announced, the court hasn't given its verdict that these people are criminals. Whatever happened to innocent but proven guilty? It just shows you that the level of incompetence in Trump's administration is wild, because there is no other criteria for choosing these people other than their loyalty to Trump. They don't have any competence that is relevant to the job that they're currently doing. And they're going to get more attacks like this because they're not going to be able to keep up with the promises. Trump isn't keeping up with his promises. That's why he's giving very symbolic gestures, changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. What does that do to the price of eggs? What does that do to the economy? Saying that America, the official language of America is now English. So what? What substantive value does that add to America? Nothing. So I think I'm loving this. These people need to be held to account for what they're doing. They have nothing to offer and they're just going to keep feeding people bare bones like this. And until those in the MAGA crowd realize that they've been conned, this is what they're going to get.